Alright guys, so here be the finished product of the Dynam P47. It's actually a pretty big warbird, guys. It says 48 inches. It's all of 48 inches wingspan. There was some little tricky parts with the decals, like you have to make some cuts there with a razor blade, and you have to make cuts there because they're not cut to size. Another thing that we had to do was back here. That goes right across that outtake that for the exhaust, not for the exhaust, but for the cooling system. And you have to put the decal on and then cut it right there, and then push it down in. That's the way you get that decal on. And I accidentally put that damn decal on upside down. But all the rest of them are put on right. I didn't feel like pulling it off because once you pull them off, they just don't go back on right again. I'll try to heat it up later and pull it off and put it on right. And I forgot to put the damn control panel on the inside. I forgot to put the control panel on in there. But like I said, I'm not into these for, I mean, to be honest with you, if it wasn't for like wanting to see the historical look of these planes, I wouldn't even put the decals on them at all. I just like flying them, to be honest with you. So that's what I'm in this hobby for. I'm in it to fly. I'm not in it for any other reason. I'm in it for speed, and I'm in it for the flight characteristics of the plane. And I got jets for speed, and I have these planes just to have a nice slow characteristic, slow flight characteristic, some low speed stuff. Some, I can fly. What I did notice is I can fly inverted and do knife edges with these prop planes way easier than you can with jets. So that's another reason why I want to get more into flying the props, because I can just do a lot more with them. A lot of my jets don't even have rudders, 64 millimeters and 70 millimeter. Well, the 70 millimeter ones do, but the 64s don't. But anyways, guys, this is the Hun Hunter, which I like to call the Have Hun. I don't know why. My dad used to call it the Have Hun years ago. And I don't know if there was one actually called the Have Hun, but I do know that this Hun Hunter, this is a pretty common one, really popular squadron from back in the World War II era. There were actually a lot of these planes in this particular squadron. I think there were upwards of 60 at one point in time. They had like over 60 aircraft, and then it got. As the war went on, I believe they even had more. I believe they went up even more to like up over 100 aircraft. But they had no more than 6 to 12 flying at one time. They went out in 6-man squadrons. So you had first lead, and then you had second lead, and then you had their flight components, which were their second and third, and then second in command, second lead had his second and third. So you had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So the 1 and 2 were your leads, and then your 3 and 4 are your. Let me see. Your 3, 4. Yeah, your 3, 4, and your 5, 6 were the seconds in the squadrons, the second and third in the squadron, and that's the way they would come out. And those 6 were coming back in, another 6 would come out, and they would actually see the 6 that just took off coming back as they were coming into land. So it was actually kind of cool. They kept these guys going and going and going and going. I mean, I don't think they ever had a day off. To be honest with you, I think they flew at least a mission or two, every other day, if not every day. So, really, really good plane right here, guys. This, as far as a historical plane, this plane saw, just as much as the F6Fs and the F4Fs. And I was right. It is a Pratt & Whitney engine. It's the same engine that they use in the F6F Hellcat. It's the same engine that they use in the Corsair. Same exact motor. So Pratt & Whitney engine. So I was right on that. I'm glad I was right, because I would have sounded awful stupid telling you guys that this is my favorite plane historically, and I don't even know what goddamn engine's in it. That's kind of fucked up. So yeah, it is a Pratt & Whitney engine. It was the 2800 series, I believe. Same engine that was, like I said, in the Corsair and in the F6F Hellcat. Later on, they did start to supercharge these engines, and they could really get a lot of power out of these bad boys once they started doing that. But yeah, that's her complete. I hope you guys like it. Like I said, don't shit on Dynam, man. Dynam, you know, as far as I'm concerned right now, besides not having the scale prop on this, which the P47s had the 4-bladed prop, I mean, that's the only thing that's not scale about this plane. I mean, everything else is pretty damn scale. I didn't like the fact that one of the other things that they do is they just give you these random cut pieces like this for the guns. Now, those cut pieces right there are exactly the same size as the cut pieces that you use for the 20 caliber, or the 20 cal, the 20 millimeter cannons on the Tempest and on the Focke-Wulf, which, I mean, they should make these a little smaller. If they're going to use those as the 20s, then they should cut these. They should make these little smaller tubes so that they represent 50s a little better. But other than that, I got no complaints, man. This thing is beautiful. I punched a couple of holes in the bottom of the cowling here, and because that's where the ESC is, it sits right inside of there. So I punched a couple of holes right there so that some air can get in over the ESC. Just a couple of things that I've learned over my years of flying. To keep the ESCs cool, especially with Dynam planes. They like to overheat a bit, so it's good to keep them cool. And if you can keep them cool, then you can get right back into another flight. If not, you have to let the thing sit there and cool off for a little while before you go flying it again, or else you'll burn out the ESC, or it'll catch on. Like, worst case scenario, I saw a guy's 262 catch on fire with the Dynam ESCs. So you gotta be careful, man. Gotta be careful. But here it is, guys, the Hun Hunter. Beautiful, beautiful warbird. I cannot wait to get the flaps done on this and get this bad boy out flying. Super excited about this one. I'm more excited about this one than the Tempest and the Focke-Wulf. The only reason I didn't get this one first is because I was supposed to get the FMS 6-cell P47, but I have no freaking room in here, guys. I mean, I got planes everywhere. I've got probably over 30 planes now, and they're stacked up in my room. I got them hanging from my ceilings. I got an F-14 and a freaking F-16 in my daughter's room, and then I just added this one to my collection, and I just got no room. I have no room for a bigger plane like that, so I just went with this smaller one first, and then, you know, once I can learn to fly this one a bit and get good at it, then I'll pass this one down to Tyler. You guys all know Tyler. If you watch my channel, you know who Tyler is. I'm going to give this one to Tyler, and then I'll get my FMS, but there's no reason for me to jump into an FMS right now when I don't know how to fly props very well. I had visions in my head of that thing smashing into the ground, and I was just puking all over the place and shitting my pants, and I was like, you know what, I'm not going to go through with that. I'm just going to get this $159 Dynam. They fly pretty well. I can learn on this one, learn with the flaps, you know, I learn everything with this one, and then move to the bigger version, the 6-cell version. Not to mention, I only got 2 6-cell batteries, and those are specifically for my F-14. I am not using those batteries for anything else. I'm not putting them on any other power system except for my F-14. So I would have had to gone out and gotten another 6S battery, which I can. I'm not like I'm broke or anything, but my old lady bitches every single time I get something with these planes. She just, I mean, she's all right with it, but if she's like, oh, you already have a 6S battery. You got 2 of them. Oh, why do you need to buy another one? And yeah, I have to explain to her, you know, you guys know, you guys in the RC world know. Well, honey, it's because I would like this 6S battery to be for just this plane alone, you know. And then she's like, well, I don't think so. And so I'm not going into that. I'm not going to get into it with her. So I told her I would get that plane later, and I'd get that battery later, and I'd just get this one for now. So this is my early birthday present. By the way, my birthday is on the 20th of this month. This is my early birthday present, and I know that she's getting me some gold. I asked for another gold necklace. I just got this one right here. This is a badass one. That's my lion. That's my favorite animal in like the history of animals is that lion. So I got the lion. I got this is solid gold necklace right here. I got this for Christmas, and she's gonna get me a rope chain, which is the next piece that I'm adding to my gold collection. And then I just bought her a $5,000 engagement ring, so she's sitting pretty as well. Nice platinum or white gold. What is it? White gold? I think it's white gold. Yeah, white gold. 2.5 carats. Pretty nice ring. So she's gonna get me another gold necklace, and then I go bowling a lot. I'm in a bowling league and everything, and so I decided to get her own shoes and her own bowling ball. My buddy that does my bowling equipment for me, he hooked her up pretty good. He got her a brand new ball. He drilled it out to her size on her hands, you know, so it's custom fit to her hand. and got her a nice pair. It's a black and pink ball, and I got her some black and pink shoes to go with it. So yeah, it's kind of cool. That's gonna be her that's gonna be her birthday present. Plus I got some other things, and I'm gonna take her on a vacation down to Florida. We're gonna go to the Florida Keys, I think. So we take care of each other in this family, and then, you know, reward ourselves as much as we can when we can. So this is it, guys. Sorry to ramble and mumble and jumble and go on, but this is the finished P47D Thunderbolt from Dynam RC. Hope you guys liked the video. This again is David, and we will talk to you guys later. Have a good night, guys. Bye.